guys, today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the cost of mining Ethereum. So my previous video I showed you guys how to get everything set up to use your personal computer to mine Ethereum with multiple graphics cards. Now today I'm going to talk to you guys about how much it actually costs with everything that you're putting into this. So first off, you're going to have to invest some money into graphics cards. These graphics cards here are worth about $230 to $40 or so. So that's about $500 right there in graphics cards. The R9 Fury X is ridiculously overpriced still. It's about $600. But you don't need to use one of those. You could actually use two of those and replace the R9 Fury X and actually be able to hash more using less power. But that's what I have right now, so that's what I'm going to be referring to. So each one of these cards here uses about 175 watts when they're active, when they're at their peak. The R9 Fury X uses 475 watts when it's at full power. So you can see the huge difference. You get two RX 480s instead of the one R9 Fury X, and that way you could do almost 50 mega hashes with two of these rather than 26 mega hashes with the R9. The processor is 95 watts, and then that's basically all there is in there. There's also the fans, which are just a couple of watts per fan, so nothing too crazy, but figuring that out would take a long time. So what I did here was use a meter, one of these power meters, which is measuring how much power the computer is using. So it's kind of dark right here. I don't know if you can see. I wish I had a light or something. So that's reading at 16.25 kilowatt hours in 24.24 hours. So we'll just say about 16 kilowatts every 24 hours that this is running. So we're gonna have to do some math here, and it's gonna be different for everyone because every place in the world charges a different amount per kilowatt hour. So for example, in California, 1 kilowatt hour is about 15 cents. Here we're in Utah, so it's a little bit less. Here we get charged about 12 cents per kilowatt hour. So we'll have to go and do some math here and figure that out. So the cost of starting your mining adventure here would be the cost of your hardware. So my power supply here was about $150. Your motherboard, you can get a cheap motherboard, probably for less than $100, but $100 is average. You're going to need a CPU between $80 and $100. You're going to need one graphics card, obviously. And then if you want to add more graphics cards, then you're going to spend a bit more. You're going to need a case to house everything, so about $50 for a crappy case. So overall you'd spend about $1,100 on the initial cost of getting all the hardware. Now the cost of power, first off you're going to have to figure out how much the power costs in your state. So as you can see here, just Google your location and the cost per kilowatt hour. Here it's 12 cents. Now we can figure out how much it's going to actually cost. So we had 16 kilowatt hours for 24 hours of runtime, which ends up being about 0.67 kilowatt hours per hour. If you want to figure out the actual cost of dollars, you could do this. So 16 times 0.12, which is about $1.92 per day. So if you figure that out per month, you times that by 30, which is 57.6. if you times that by a whole year, then this would be the cost of electricity for just your miner. So about $700 for just electricity per year if you had a similar setup to the one I have here. So this is where things get a little interesting, the return on investment. So the charts that you're given over here are definitely wrong. I mean, over here it's saying that I could get about 7 Ethereums per month. That is completely wrong. And also the price that they have here is completely wrong. Ethereum is currently worth between $48 and $53. It keeps on dropping and climbing and so forth. So that is completely wrong. This is according to the old prices, where it was about $15 to $20 or so. This is wrong because the difficulty of mining Ethereum has increased, so you wouldn't get this much at this current time, and it's going to decrease as time goes, because the difficulty can only get harder, which means you're going to have to upgrade your hardware, spend more money on hardware to be able to keep up with the demand. So this is more accurate over here. I've got about 0.15 Ethereum per day with this mining rig. So if I figure that out for 30 days, it's about 4.5 Ethereums. So if you wanted to figure out how much it costs for 1 Ethereum, you would do 1 Ethereum divided by 0.15, which is what you get per day. So it would take you 6.666667 days to get 1 Ethereum, and then you times the days by the cost of electricity per day, which gives you about $12.08 per Ethereum. So it's a lot cheaper to mine Ethereum than it is to buy Ethereum on Coinbase. If you go on Coinbase and buy Ethereum, it's currently priced at $48.66. So there's a huge difference there between $12.80 and $48 and almost 90 cents there. So then if you wanted to figure out how much you would get per month, so you have 50. So we're doing Ethereum priced about $50. It's a little bit lower, but we'll do it at 50. Times 4.5 gives you about $225 in return, minus 57.60 in electricity bills. So you get a total return on investment of $167.4, and that's if you wanted to cash out right away. If you wanted to stay in and keep your Ethereum for a long time, so between 2 to 5 years, Ethereum could potentially catch up to Bitcoin. So if you had 4.5 Ethereums and they went up to the price of Bitcoin, which is about $1,000, then you would have about $4,500 in 1 month of running this. So you can see how this can be pretty costly right now, but if you end up holding this and keeping your Ethereum for a long time, you could make a ton of money doing this. So that is basically how you would break something up like this and how you would figure out the total return on investment on mining. If you're able to cut a deal with someone and get power for even cheaper, then your return on investment would be obviously a lot more. But keep in mind that you are going to spend quite a bit of money on hardware itself, and you're going to spend a bit of money on electricity to run everything. So you can see here I've got a fan to cool down everything, and then there's obviously a bunch of other fans in there. So this does get hot. This will essentially be a heater for your home, or at least for a room. And you also have to keep in mind that during the summer, as it gets hotter and hotter, you're going to have to spend more money on cooling costs, so air conditioning and such. So keep that in mind, but I just wanted to give you guys an accurate representation of how much you would actually get as a return on your investment if you decided to do something like this. And yeah, that is basically it for this video. If you guys found it helpful or informative, please remember to like, comment, favorite, or share. If you don't want to start mining Ethereum like this, but you want to get involved, there's going to be a link down in the video's description to Coinbase, which will give you $10 to start out, and you can start buying Ethereum with your cash, and then just hold it. As you can see here, if you hold it in the long run, you could make a lot of money. If you want to start mining, then follow the previous video on how to get everything set up. And if you found this helpful and you want to donate, send me a donation. There is my Ethereum address, and I'll have that down in the video's description as well. But anyways, that is it for this video, guys. If you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.